fast to www.pastorpaulgold.com. Hey, have you taken a good look at the banks lately? On the surface, everything seems fine, but there's a whole lot more going on underneath. It's like looking under the hood of a car and finding a mess of broken wires and parts. The parts are loans for homes, cars, and those credit cards we all use. They're hitting record highs. It's kind of scary when you think about it. Why risk your money for a tiny 5% return when things are so shaky? This is where Noble Gold Investment can come in and help. They're like that friend who knows all about keeping money safe. They suggest gold and silver, oldies but goodies in the finance world. Plus, they got a sweet deal on this right here. 1/4 of an ounce gold standard coin. They'll give this to you for this month. 1/4 of an ounce of gold. Pretty cool, right? Well, if you're curious, just give them a call at 877-646-5347. It's just a chat, no pressure, and they'll help you figure out if gold and silver is right for you. Go visit them at www.pastorpaulgold.com and take the first steps toward a safer financial future.
Yemen's Houthi rebels conducted attacks on both Israel and a ship in the Gulf of Aden on Thursday, setting the vessel ablaze. This showcases their capability to launch assaults despite facing U.S.-led airstrikes. The Houthi leader framed these actions as part of a broader pressure campaign to end Israel's involvement in the conflict with Hamas in Gaza. However, their recent attacks have become more indiscriminate, posing a threat to a crucial waterway for cargo and energy shipments between Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. In the Gulf of Aden, 2 missiles were fired at the Palau-flagged cargo ship Islander, resulting in a fire and injuring 1 sailor. This is according to the U.S. Military Central Command. The ship was en route from Thailand to Egypt, and it continued its journey, ABC News reported. The Islander had previously sent messages indicating, quote, Syrian crew on board to potentially avoid Houthi targeting. Similar communication strategies have been employed by other vessels to identify their crews as Muslims or unaffiliated with Israel to mitigate the risk of rebel attacks. Simultaneously, early Thursday morning, sirens sounded in the southern Israeli port of Eilat, with online videos suggesting an interception in the sky overhead. Federal regulators have expanded the authority of Native American tribes to impede hydropower projects on their land, responding to a surge in applications seeking to enhance renewable energy in the water-deficient U.S. Southwest. In the past, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission had permitted developers to proceed with planning even in the face of tribal objections. However, this approach changed last week. Under the new commission policy, tribes now have the ability to promptly reject proposals, compelling businesses to collaborate if they wish to secure exclusive rights to their hydropower projects from the federal government. Quote, This is the acknowledgement and respect of tribal sovereignty, which is critical, said George Harding, spokesperson for the Navajo Nation's President's Office, the Associated Press reported. The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission recently turned down 7 project proposals within the Navajo Nation, an expanse of territory spanning 27,000 square miles across Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. Alongside these rejections, the Commission unveiled a policy shift, granting tribes equivalent authority to federal agencies in the ability to obstruct projects. On Friday, the Biden administration is set to implement a new set of sanctions targeting over 500 entities in response to the demise of opposition figure Alexei Navalny and on the eve of the 2-year anniversary of Russia's conflict in Ukraine, as confirmed by a Treasury official. These sanctions represent the latest step taken by the administration to impose repercussions on Russia amid escalating tensions between the two nations. Now, during a statement on Tuesday, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan described the upcoming measures as a, quote, substantial package, encompassing various aspects connected to the Russian defense industrial sector and revenue sources supporting the country's, quote, war machine. President Joe Biden had hinted at the sanctions on Thursday, attributing responsibility for Navalny's death to Russian President Vladimir Putin, CNN reported. Biden's remarks followed his meeting with Navalny's widow and daughter in San Francisco. In recent years, the United States, along with other Western governments, has imposed a series of sanctions against Russia. Despite these measures, Russia has demonstrated adaptability, with President Putin openly boasting about the country's resilience to international sanctions, noting that their impact tends to take time. Ahead of Alexei Navalny's death, the United States officials were actively developing a new sanctions package targeting Russia. Following the opposition leader's demise, this package was further enhanced, as mentioned by a senior U.S. official. The official also noted that there was coordination with European partners in the formulation of this updated sanctions package.